there's so many things that are just so brilliant about him. And I feel like I kind of think of him like my grandpa, like he would be proud of me, like he would pat me on the head and take delight in, there's a whimsical nature to the dream work that I do that isn't so clinical and stuffy and serious. I mean, it's kind of playful and magical, and I think he would like it, even though it's not exactly the way he did it.
Sure. I'm sure he would say thank you. You know, when you were talking about people have come up with solutions in their dreams and been given guidance and direction, and there's all kinds of things that come into the dreams. Well, when you said that, it reminded me that Ray Kurzweil, who's a world-renowned inventor, before he goes to sleep, gives his subconscious, before he sleeps, the questions that he has about his inventions or solving problems regarding the different inventions he's working on. So he gets his guidance in his dreams, but he is deliberately passing the baton, saying, this is what I need help with, and goes to bed knowing he's going to get it.
And he's doing what great inventors throughout history have done. Thomas Edison did that, and I mean, there's many, many others. So it's just, of course, and I just saw the movie. Did you see his recent movie,
Transcendental Man? I saw parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Calling him the heir to Thomas Edison. Yeah, what a genius being. And he actually talks about, and this is kind of a tangent here, but the dreams that he has about his father. And this is, I don't know, this is kind of a wacky tie-in, but his dreams about his father have also propelled his research because he had such a strong bond with his father. And I think he's never really gotten over his father's death. He hasn't come to terms with it, which is one of the reasons why he's so passionate about figuring out how we can live forever and don't have to die, which I don't know that I necessarily philosophically agree with him because I don't think that there's anything wrong with death. I think it's part of life, and I think ultimately there is no death because what's true about us lives on. But I think he, as a scientist, doesn't believe that there is something beyond death, that when we're dead, we're just dead, that there isn't necessarily a spirit that can be proved from his perspective. I know there is. I've had a death experience, so I know for a fact that I was more me when I wasn't in my body than I've ever been in my body, and I didn't stop.
How long were you dead?
15 minutes. Just a 15-minute magical expedition.
Did you drown? How did you pass?
How did I pass?
Yeah, did you drown?
No.
What happened?
The long story short, I took a bite of a cookie that had hash in it. And I'm a lightweight. I hardly ever do anything that's a mind-altering substance. But on this particular night, I had a little bite. And it wasn't enough. Nobody, I've talked to people that know about this kind of stuff, and there's no justification. Like, there wasn't enough in that little bite to kill somebody. But I went out. I was gone, and it was the most amazing thing ever. That's the only thing I can point to. I mean, there was a lot of emotion happening in my life that day. I was moving that day, or we were moving the following day, but I was in the middle of packing boxes and crying and grieving and mourning and being really dramatic, feeling so attached to the physical world and to stuff because we were moving into, it's a long story, but I was like, my precious belongings and my things. And so I felt like my guides were saying, oh my God, we've got to get a hold of this woman. She's gone off the deep end. So
how did you know you died?
How do I know? Well, there wasn't a way of being able to calibrate it, but there was paramedics. They saw that my blood pressure had completely dropped. They put me on oxygen. I was on a gurney. Somebody took a picture of me, and my face was pale. My lips were blue. I was out of my body. For sure I was out. I mean, I was able to observe everything from where I was, and I wasn't in that body. I tried to get it to talk, and it wouldn't talk. Eventually it started to, but it took a lot of will to get my lips to move, and it was amazing.
Wow.
It was so beautiful. I thought, wow, I should have done this a long time ago.
Where'd you go?
All I know is that if I could tell you the detail by detail experience, but basically it was like being shot out of a slingshot. Like, whew, I just went flying, and I knew as I was exiting the body, there was fear. I was afraid because I didn't know what was happening, and I just started chanting, God, 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 God. That was the only prayer I could muster, and I felt like that kind of directed me into a realm. We could say it's all God, but this was a particularly light, beautiful. It was mostly there. I didn't see any specific. It wasn't like I saw a house and a garden, but it was more like just this field of colors that were so beautiful, and so it was like this realm of love that was beyond anything I had ever known before. It was so full-bodied and all around, like surround sound love, and there was kind of like these blasts of clarity, of like a few words that I could hold on to, that I could take with me, and one of them was, it's like there was just love. It was as if I was on a people mover, and there was just love and colors kind of coming through me, and I had this thought, wow, if I was back on Earth, I would try to stop the people mover, grab onto this stuff, write my name on it, hold on to it, and call it something. But because I'm here and there's so much coming at me so fast, there's no time to stop, and like stopping the wheel or the assembly line. Like I couldn't stop it. So there was nothing to hold on to. And then I realized holding on to anything is suffering. To the degree to which I can be in the release, to the degree that I can be detached, is the degree to which I can experience heaven on earth. The degree to which I attach is the degree to which I suffer.
That's profound.
It was huge. And then I've talked about this before, but I found a few days after I came back, I found this William Blake quote that really says it so articulately. He said, "He who binds himself to joy does the winged life destroy, and he who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise."
Beautiful. Wow, I got chills on that one.
I got chills too. Oh, double chills.
Woo!
Yeah, and so the goal is, for me, is to just notice when I get attached and notice when there's a bit of suffering, and then drop it like it's hot, and remember that there is, even in this realm that is a denser energy, there is a never-ending flow of love and beauty that is constantly streaming in, and we're the only ones that can press the stop button on that assembly line. But we can also press the start button again and get it flowing again. And then there's nothing, we never need to be hungry or lonely or for lack of anything ever, because it doesn't stop. Only when we put up our blinders and our blocks to it do we have the experience of it stopping. But love, the universe, whatever it is, doesn't know how to stop. It just keeps flowing. And we can either ride the wave or not. We have free will around that.
Amen. All I can say is amen. As we come to the end of this hour, I was wondering if you could share a little bit about the Dream Project, some of your work with kids.
Sure, I'd love to. It feels like a completely different direction from what we were talking about, but it's related.
Even if you want to just share a little bit about it. I watched your video on some of what you're doing with the kids, and I just wanted you to share with the public a little bit about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the basic essence of it, and here, this is how it tethers to the dream work that we've been talking about. I feel like when you open yourself to your subconscious mind, when you pay attention to your dreams, you start to get guidance that will reveal your true path to you, your reason for being alive, your contribution to humanity. So I feel like in the most subtle ways, I've just been paying attention to dreams and wrote this book, and it kind of led me on this journey. I became long story short, I joined this organization called Women's National Book Association. I ended up becoming the president of the Los Angeles chapter, and I ended up at the United Nations, because this organization is an NGO.